Righto, in this one it's a bit of a mixed bag. We start out at the workshop, show you what's going on there, and then jag time. Let's see if this 5 litre Jag's going to run. And we get cool Mia's new bike's going to be. Found her a mongoose. Going to clean that up. Righto, here we go. Righto guys, what have we got today? Okay, so I bought another later model car. So it's a Ford XR5. So Mondeo.
Is it actually a Mondeo?
I think it's the same thing. When you look for parts, it comes up Mondeo. But yeah, nice sort of leather interior, 6-speed manual. It is a turbo, but what happened is it got, from what we can tell, it looks like it's done a head gasket and blown out the recovery bottle, okay, and then stopped. And then they've sat it, and then mice have got in and played with the wiring. So then they've rewired it with a switch and tried to rewire and just made an absolute freaking mess of it. So we're going to order an engine loom harness. We'll have to do a head gasket on it. But being a turbo and that's a 5-cylinder, could be a pretty cool sort of jigger. I don't mind it. It's pretty low. Body's not exceptional, but it's definitely, yeah, definitely not too bad.
All standard, so.
But yeah, so it looks like it was quite a nice car. A mate bought it to do it up and then looked and just went, oh geez, looked at that and went no. And he didn't even want to sell it to me. He goes, no, I don't want to sell it to you because I want us to be friends still. And I'm like, dude, I buy this stuff every day. He's like, nah. He goes, oh, are you sure? I said, yep, we've looked at it. It's all good, dude. Don't worry about it. He was worried that he's going to be ripping me off because it's got such issues. But anyway, we will see what happens and I'll keep you informed. Hang on. Captain's got something for us. Hang on a second. All right, hang on a second. Leith was stripping a
1KD Hilux diesel, and that's the piston that came out of it.
Jeez.
The engine actually stopped, and it only stopped because the aluminium that came across from there sat on top of the piston and actually basically hydraulic done aluminium on top of the head and stopped it. As soon as I pulled the head off, it started winding over again. But that is from one injector not working.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't think diesels leaned out.
Leaned out. Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's happened to that one. It's actually melted the piston.
So if you've got a misfire in your diesel and it is injectors, stop driving it.
Because he said he had the injectors done, I think he said 5,000 k's ago. So, but by then it was too late. It was already starting to disintegrate the piston. I think I will get him to take the injectors and get them checked again, just to make sure that no crap's gone through it. But yeah, look, actually snapped the skirt off. I found the skirt in the sun. And all those bits from off there were actually on top of the piston and stuck to the cylinder head. So
that's a late model Hilux, guys, that these come out of.
So the bore itself, I'll have to bore it. I think it will clean up at 0.5s. So there's a bit of aluminium stuck to the bore, but no major scores or anything in there, so I'll do that. Cylinder head will be fine. I do have to replace a couple of valves because the aluminium's gone up underneath the valves.
Where's the head?
Head's just over here. I should have the lights on, sorry. But
no, it's all good.
I'm just about to go on. No, over here.
Right.
Yeah, there was aluminium stuck to the whole chamber there and on the valves, but I have cleaned it all off to make sure there was no major dings or cracks in the cylinder head. Like, it hasn't even touched the glow plug there, so I know it's pretty good. It was only just stuck to the valves when they've been opening and closing.
That'll still get pressure tested and machined, but yeah.
Okay, this is the reason that you should do an EGR delete. I don't know if you can see that, but look at the amount of carbon in there.
It's crazy, eh?
Like, that is absolutely amazingly carboned up. Can't even open it. Oh, there we go. So that, yeah, that'd be probably 50% blocked off, like the intake ports. So that's the reason that you should always run like an EGR delete and a oil catch can, so an oil air separator. Because these things, like you can even see on the actual ports, they're just chockers full of crap.
Yeah, it's terrible, eh?
So that's new diesels for you. They're just trying to meet emissions. So, but yeah, as soon as you don't care about that, EGR delete and oil catch can, which oil catch can is legal.
Righto, we're going to head out to the Jag, and yeah, the new one we got with the 5 litre in it. It's pretty good, but look at this thing.
5 litre, sorry, late, thanks.
How good is this thing? Yeah. All right, let's go out and have a look. We'll have a good look. I'll show you what we found on it this morning when we unloaded it. So it should be a good thing. I'm pretty excited. Righto, so this is another Series 1 Jag that I bought, guys. It's got E-type wheels on it with Santa knockoffs. The interior in this thing is amazingly good. It's like a white leather. The hood liner, look at that. Look at those hoops across the hood liner, that's pretty cool. Alright, so it's an auto, it's got a turbo 350 in it. When we had this up in the air this morning, okay, it's got like a B&M sump on the transmission. From what we can see, it has, when you look in through the when you look in through the breather, you can see roller rockers in there. Even just little telltale things like that. The aluminium rocket covers that look mad are a big dollar item. It's got an aftermarket aluminium manifold and a high energy sump, so it's got a larger sump on the bottom of it. This carby was absolutely schmegmed up and seized up. We sprayed some stuff in it this morning, so that at least the primary's open now. Okay, it's got a single point distributor. At least said the points were actually broken. He's replaced them.
Yeah, they come out in 2 parts. The actual spring had broken. Yeah. So they weren't working. So I'll put some other points in there.
I won't lean on that again. It almost fell through.
And yeah, so I've got that part of the I've had to hot wire the points because there's no power coming from the ignition to the coil. Yep. Which is fair enough. But you turn the ignition on, everything else seems to work. So we might just. Do you want to do key or you want to? I'll do fuel and accelerator if you want to do key.
I'll do key. All right, so this is sort of first start, guys, and we'll see what's going to happen. So yeah,
hopefully it doesn't start and bring all the shit fuel up through it, but
yeah, the fuel pump actually works. So
yeah, I'll hook up the battery.
Underneath this thing, the exhaust system's awesome. It's got a H pipe in it. The tail pipes are good. So there's a lot of usable
turn the ignition on. I'll put some fuel down there.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wow. Who else expected that? I didn't, I can tell you that. Nice in the back. Sounds like a bit of... I'm scared because if that strips back it's going to catch on fire.
I want the lifters to pump up a bit.
Do you reckon it'll run it solid or not?
What?
Do you reckon it's a solid?
Doesn't sound like it's back. Did yours sound alright?
Deep, yeah, really nice. Leaf missed his calling. He should be a fuel pump because he's got that running sweet just from that spray bottle, eh? If we let that sit for a second now, they might, yeah, the oil pressure should bring them up. How good's that, guys? I'm absolutely stoked. And the mufflers on that sound all right. We might be able to use them, and with the Chev, it should be just a little bit deeper.
I think we just use the whole exhaust.
Yeah, we're thinking about using the exhaust off this one on the other one. I better turn that ignition off. Righto, we're going to go again, see what it's going to do. See if those lifters will let up. Yep.
Mate. What did I get for it? Oh. Okay, yeah.
You watch, you go to start his forklift tomorrow, I won't be able to start it because we're flattening the battery on this.
No, I had the forklift running before. Turn the ignition on.
Yeah. Ready?
Go. Oh. Yeah.
Alright, let's start the forklift. His pride and joy and only transport.
Alright, try again.
that'll put it through a heat cycle for us. Hopefully the lifters and that'll bleed up. The brakes, believe it or not, work. Well, it's got a pedal and it's got a flat tyre. So plan tomorrow now will be put a wheel on it, put a carby on it, and some sort of fuel pump in the back as a fuel tank, so a jerry can or something strapped in the back. We'll be driving this tomorrow. Mad.
Both fuel tanks hooked up to the one pump, and the pump seems to flow, and the pump seems really good, and the tank seems really clean inside.
All right, sweet. He did buy it. I did get told that he did buy a brand new fuel tank or something at one stage. So yeah, righto. We'll see you tomorrow with Jags. All right, so we're a couple of days later. That Jag's looking sweet, but yeah, we're gonna drive this tomorrow morning, which is the Jag. Okay, so the brakes are working. We'll pump that front tire up. We have the issue with the carby, okay, where it's all seized up and rooted. And Leach just said then it's filling up the rear bowl but not the front bowl. So we could put another one on that we don't know what it is, but we know this might work. So he's unbolting this now, taking that holly off, and yeah, he'll have a play with that this afternoon, clean it all out enough. I don't know if we'll get the secondaries to work, but at least it will run on primaries, and we're going to drive this thing in the morning. So next time you see us, we'll be putting it back together and going from there. We've made progress since the start of this video. It's a couple of days later on the Mondeo, the XR5. We've got a wiring harness for that where the mice have eaten it. That gets picked up on Wednesday, so hopefully we should be able to start that by the end of next week and go from there. But things are going good. New trucks for the tyres for the truck. We've got Storm in today cleaning out the backyard, and going to move some cars around. Everything's happening, guys. Really good. Anyway, see you in the morning with a bit more Jag action. Righto, so carby's off. One good thing is there's nothing in the intake, so water hasn't gone in there. It's just being in salt water country, and it's just
top of the butterflies are a little bit rusty and looks like Ross made a mess in the
what's underneath
in the overflow there. No, it actually doesn't look too bad. Like it's a little bit corroded, but I'll give it a bit of a tidy up now and pull the bowls off and have a look, and I'll make it work good enough for tomorrow.
Sweet. All right, it's another good one. I think Ben said he's sending a 465 to us. Thank you very much, dude. A legend. That'll be good on I'd say on that Jag there. But righto, we'll have a play around with this, and yeah, in the morning we will be driving and hope it doesn't snap in half because it's extremely rusty. But anyway, that's the price you pay, isn't it? Okay, so Saturday morning, guys, we're gonna try and get this driving. So where we're at is Captain's put the carby back on. We've got a battery in. He's actually got the ignition working now instead of jumping a power to the battery. I've just checked the trans fluid and there's no trans fluid in it, so I'm going to get the Mini out and take it down to the parts shop to get some trans fluid. And then when I get back, he's checked the fuel tanks in it. One's got water, one's got holes. The fuel pump works though, so we're going to put a container in the boot onto the fuel line so it can run through the fuel pump and that and work on the back. Took that wheel off and just got some air in it, and yeah, so I'm going to hurry and get back and then hopefully be driving this thing very soon. And I've got a prickle in my sock. Righto, so back from driving the Mini, and honestly I think I'll just keep it. It's just cool. Got a few bits and pieces to do on it in the next 6 months. I'm just going to go and take it home, put it next to the WRX for now. There is a lady coming today to look at it. If she turns up and pays the 9.5, she can have it. Other than that, it's staying. Alright, so this runs now, it idles. We're just got to get the auto to work and we should be able to drive it. Here we go. Look at that, what a gem. The water pump's a bit rooted, but we're not going to be driving it that much. We just want to make sure things work. Happier. Heck with that. For something that's sat for so long and so rusty, like look at that. Wow. Wonder if the aircon works. Righto. Alright, we'll keep doing these checks and let's get this thing cracking. Righto, here we go. Captain's driving. You know, fair's fair, like he does all the work. I used to work on my own cars, right? He doesn't watch the video, so I'm fine to say this, but I'd be lost without him, honestly. Like, I don't get to turn a spanner hardly ever. I work out in the truck, make the money, and he sort of gets to do stuff for me, and so thankful that I have him, to be honest. Yeah, I'd be lost without him. Ah, from the instant. That's it.
That is a V8 taco, Red.
Yep.
Yep.
Sweet.
Idling about 800.
Yep.
Taco saying 800.
We were going through trying to find a V8 taco. Look at that spider just there.
Yeah, a lot of smoke. That's off the exhaust, I hope. But...
What was that?
I don't know, but I didn't like it.
Maybe you shouldn't have booted it.
Did the front suspension just collapse?
Not sure. What's that smoke from? Might just go backwards and see what happens. I'll stand outside the car.
Unless the wheel wasn't engaged properly on the spline.
Oh, that's what it'd be when you put it back on.
When I put my foot on the brake.
He had that wheel off this morning to get the tyre to seat. Brake. That side locks up, this one doesn't, so I wonder if we just check that knock off again to make sure it's tight. Yeah, nothing ever really goes to plan, especially when you're dealing with stuff that's about to fall in half. Look how tough that is, even with all the smoke coming out of it. You can't close the bonnet because it's so rusted in the front end. I don't know who thought to paint it this colour, but anyway. Yeah. Well, the auto seems to be working, which is what we're actually trying to do today. We're not just pissing about, we're trying to test the auto to see if it... I reckon just check that knock off again. Yeah, alright, that's what it was. Wheels loose. Alright, let's check that out and we'll go for a try two. Righto, so that knock off was just a little bit loose, but that's fine. It's one of those learning curves. The oil pressure is coming up nicely. Alternator works. You said the power steering was working nice. Yeah. As we said, we've got a V8 taco now for the red one, so that'll come out of this one. It's one of those learning things you do.
That's better. Boat's locking up now. Just drop on you.
The spider fell on me. Yeah, so we got brakes now, but that's one of those learning curves you have for yeah, stuff, the knockoffs, knowing what they're like. Alright, here we go.
If the front end's going to fall out or anything.
Good auto.
Oh yeah, auto's big.
Auto shifts, that's so nice guys, it's just crisp as.
Just check the brakes.
There's a lot of water in the fluid from what I could see this morning. But yeah.
Grabby, a little bit grabby, but there's heaps of rust on it.
Leaf's a little bit grabby too, don't worry.
Yeah.
The exhaust is sort of not too loud, but just enough.
I think it's perfect. It's going to be good for the chef.
Yeah.
Oh, I better not go too far. There's racing on today.
Battery's starting to go flat on the camera, but we should have just enough left in it, I'd say, to do this one. Yeah. All right, we'll turn this around and we'll head back the other way. I'll turn this off so we don't run out of battery. Auto's good. Seems to hook up well, and this is the carby with just half a clean out, just running on primaries, because the secondaries are actually rusted shut. Big bubble in one of the tyres, you can feel it jumping up and down. Alright.
In case anyone didn't know, we do have an airport across the road from us.
There's an airport just here, see aeroplanes.
I think it goes as good, if not better, than the 350.
The
Well, mind you, I haven't tuned the 350 yet.
But this auto is phenomenal. Like it's
really, really good.
That might end up behind the blown one. It shifts good. All right, we got a tap gauge at all. It still doesn't move.
Nah, down the front.
All right. 2 wheels.
I doubt it's on gravel. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah. You
brakes don't
can
work.
crash into all that if you like. Just leave it running. I just want to check the smoke out the back.
Out the front, you check the smoke
Out the back. It's got a bit out the back, but I reckon oil will pull that up.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of a leak out the transline under the pipe, but nothing major.
And the radiator cap's rooted. It's got water.
But it's not pressure. Like if it's pushing down there, it's still no pressure, so the water pump will
Check the aircon.
Yeah, alright. No, because I don't know what's going to come out of the vent.
I'd just like to know if the hoses are all good. No, fan doesn't even switch on. Oh, hang on. No. No.
No, the compressor's not coming on.
Alright. Well, to me, guys, that's a result. Very, very happy. The exhaust sounds good. So that exhaust will end up on the red 350 Chev Jag. The 308 will most probably end up in the Hilux, the one that had the 253 in it. And the auto might end up behind the blown Jag. We've got that glide in there at the moment. It flares. Chev should be a little bit deeper sounding than that, but yeah. And yeah, the auto in the blown Jag flares a bit between first and second because it's only a power glide, 2 gears. We do have a kickdown set there for it to maybe pull that up, but we'll see how we go. But worst case scenario, that's a result. Very, very happy. Very happy. That's come up well. All right, guys. Sorry this video took so long. We started filming it the other day, but yeah. How good's that? I'm wrapped. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm actually editing this one, as you can tell. And the Mini, well, I think she needs to stay. I can't help myself. All right, guys. See you.